All right. Good evening, people. And you know we always pause at the very beginning just to make sure it's streaming because YouTube sometimes bugs out and it doesn't seem to connect with your software. There we go. So I see that it is running. I don't know if there's any viewers as of yet, but just in case there are, we want to welcome you guys to another episode, another edition, another iteration, whatever you want to call it, of the Sim Standard Podcast with Smitty, myself, SimFBallCritic, and of course, in spirit, as always, AzureEffect. And we're going to talk about this Madden 20 beta. That's the first thing we're going to definitely dive into, folks. Just giving our thoughts, man. I mean, I know you guys may have seen individual videos from myself and Smitty, probably have talked about it. I believe he did it on Periscope, maybe in some of his streams. So I'm sure you guys have kind of heard it separately. But, it's always cool when we can bounce off of each other. So we're definitely going to recap that again tonight. And we will talk about as well the state of franchise mode, but more or less the future of franchise mode. As we got some information today about NHL, which of course has some features in their franchise mode that not only desperately needs to be in Madden, but one or two in particular that we've been clamoring for Madden for numerous years. And here it is again, EA Canada, and falling right in line with my argument that they just seem to just do things differently than EA Tiburon. And again, I'm going to say this numerous times tonight, Smitty. I am not talking about from a dev standpoint. I'm actually going to dive into that a little bit later, man, because it's a few narratives that I don't even think I'm going to address no more because obviously folks just don't listen. But just hold tight for that. We'll do that a little later. But then, while we wait for some of you guys to get in here, man, Smitty, anything else you want to hit on? I know the NBA draft is tonight. If you want to comment on that or what have you before we get started. And really quick, man, right out the gate, round of applause to Antoine dropping the donation.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate that, Antoine, man. Listen, Antoine is a faithful viewer, man. He's been rocking with myself and Smitty independently and, of course, as the Sim Standard for a long time. So we appreciate him. And I know he was, had some good things to say about the beta. So also, guys, chop it up in the chat. I don't know if we'll read them. We'll get to them all. We'll read them all. But I don't know if we'll respond to them all. But definitely give us your thoughts as well for you guys who played it. Or for you guys that may have had a chance to see it. I know there was some footage, sneaking out there a little bit. Some of it's gotten taken down. But anyway, man, before we dive into that, oh, wait a minute. See, that goes Smooth. Another faithful donator. Round of applause to Smooth. He called it Donation Station. All right. But all right, Smitty, before we dive into the Madden business, how was your week, man? And is anything else you want to hit on? And I already told you, offline, but, hope your Father's Day and all that was good. So happy late Father's Day to you. Yeah, what's going on, man?
It. No, man, I'm good, man. Father's Day was very nice. Had a great time with the family and everything. I also, got some quality time in with the beta. So I had a very good time with that as well. Getting a chance to really, getting a legit chance to feel the game out to a modest extent. And yeah, I mean, right now, as I'm looking at the draft, as it's going on right now, everything is going pretty much as expected right now. I mean, we got Phoenix that's on the clock, but yeah, everything's going as expected. And I mean, there's a lot of interesting things that can happen in the off season once free agency kicks in. So I look forward to that. So we'll see.
Hey, did Zion go one? I didn't even.
Yeah, he went.
Okay,
it went 1, 2, 3 as expected.
Oh, okay.
So they went. Let me see. I didn't.
And they traded that 4th pick, right, to Atlanta or somebody like that.
Who?
Didn't the Pelicans trade that number 4 pick?
No,
they didn't. Wait a
No,
minute.
they didn't have the fourth pick. It's the Lakers
Oh,
that
the
have the
Lakers,
fourth
the
pick.
Lakers, the Lakers, the Lakers.
Yeah,
Okay, got you.
yeah, it's the Lakers. So, um, whomever it is that, and I mean, the deal doesn't go through. The deal doesn't can officially go through until July 6th.
Wait a
So,
minute. I thought they traded. I thought they gave them the number 4 along with 2 other first round picks. Didn't the Lakers give that up
yeah, the Lakers gave up the fourth pick. Yes,
to the Pelicans, right?
yes.
But then I thought I saw earlier today that they traded that number 4 pick.
Oh, they traded it. Oh,
I think it was somebody. I
okay.
think it was to Atlanta. I could be wrong. Chat,
Yeah,
y'all
that's what they're
verify.
saying. Nope, they said
Okay.
fourth pick went to the Hawks.
All right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Appreciate
I
that,
didn't peep
chat,
that.
holding us down.
Okay. Okay, I did not know that part. Okay. Oh, nice little caveat. All right. Okay. That's interesting. All right, so it's going to be interesting, especially with what could possibly happen in the off season. I mean, with free agency. So that's what I'm saying. Even with Kevin Durant, he may go. You got multiple teams that are still willing to take him, even with him being sidelined, knowing they're not going to have him for a year. They're still willing to give him the big bucks. So that's interesting to see. But yeah, one other thing I'll say this real quick about NBA Live. I know people went online and they were expecting to see some NBA Live 20 news because they talked about this canvas thing that was happening on June 20th that NBA Live account had tweeted out. And because they didn't get what they expected, it's as if, oh, they got duped or whatever. No, EA never said that gameplay was coming. They never said nothing along that line or at all whatsoever. And the thing is that makeover, that canvas they did for that court, that was a surprise gift to the kids in that area. So while some people are saying, "Oh, we got trolled by EA, oh, they did us wrong," no, they didn't.
No,
They
you are the
didn't.
troll.
You chose to assume that they were going to unveil gameplay. You assumed and you built it up. The people, y'all built it up yourselves. What it was going to be, if it was going to be gameplay or whatever. Like you assumed it was going to be some kind of gameplay showcase, and because they didn't do any of that, y'all thinking, oh, NBA Live is dead. NBA Live 20 is canceled because it's at in the third. No, that doesn't mean any of that at all whatsoever. But that's what happens when you just assume and drum stuff up like that. You shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? If they said that, look, when you seen how NHL did their reveal, they told you the day before, look out, when the NHL awards or whatever happened, tomorrow we're going to showcase stuff. Like they're unveiling NHL 20. You didn't see anything in there articulate that they were unveiling anything in relation to NBA Live 20. Nothing said that at all whatsoever, at all. So for people that jumped off the cliff without a parachute and just assumed that it was it. No, that's not it. That's not it, man. You got to be mindful of that, man. You got to be mindful of that. So don't assume what's gonna happen. Dudes up here going crazy and everything online about that game right now, man. It's a bit nuts, but yeah, temper your expectations. That's the key thing I will say. Temper your expectations. Like Sim, I don't know if you be seeing any of it, but dudes be up here thinking that it's about to be. They're clamoring over. It needs to be. There needs to be free roaming, open world in there, like the neighborhood in 2K and all that stuff. You need to be able to free roam and do all kinds of stuff and everything. When I'm like, the core gameplay, dude, there's so much that they need to get right with the core gameplay first. And you got people worrying about open world and everything. They need to have free roaming in the game and all that. Like, I don't get that. Like, my feeling is this, and then we can go to the big topics. The thing is, NBA Live needs to become critically acclaimed first and foremost. And it's definitely not right now. It needs to be a critically acclaimed title. Not critical acclaim in the eyes of the beholder. Critically acclaimed in general. Like the gameplay has to be undeniable. Like, yo, you know what? Whether you like this company or not, they got some good stuff in this game. That's what NBA 2K is. You don't have to like them, but with the stuff that's in their game, they have a legitimate interpretation of basketball, regardless if you're a fan of them or not. Same thing with NHL. NHL has its problems too, but at the same time, it's a pretty good articulation of what hockey is. Same thing with FIFA, PES, and down the line. You don't have to be fans of the series, but what they have is respectable in their product. NBA Live does not have the articulation of basketball like that to where they can say, you know what, we're going to put all these resources into building an open world. No, that's asinine. How come it took 2K? How come it wasn't until the most recent past 4 or 5 years you've seen 2K go that route and bring neighborhoods and stuff like that? You really think NBA Live is ready for that? It is not ready for that. So I don't know why people just see, oh, because 2K's doing it, Live need to do it now. No, that doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. Get your core gameplay right. Get the current modes in your game fleshed out with proper depth. Then you go about being ambitious and trying, throwing stuff up against the wall and see it sticks. You don't just do that out just because. That doesn't make any sense. People are like, oh, they got to have open world or else. For what? That's silly. If the gameplay is the way it is in Live 19, just a hair better, that's not going to cut it. That is not going to cut it. And you already know 2K is going to smash with what they put out in 2K20. So no, you have to bring something that's going to bring legitimate acclaim to the title from a public critical standpoint and make it undeniable. That's literally what has to be in the game, dude. Simple and plain. That's the stuff that we talk about with Madden all the time. That needs to be done in their game. I wouldn't dare say, yo, put NFL Street Mode in Madden now. Are you kidding me? No, there's plenty of stuff they need to do right before they can even sniff that. So that's what I'm saying. So, but that's all I wanted to say in that regard, man. But we could go ahead and push forward.
Yeah, man, we could jump into it. Antoine Wilson, I wanna keep your comment in mind because I'm gonna address that a little later. He says gameplay is more important. I'm gonna address that a little later, man, because again, the Madden community is the most, I don't know, up and down, fickle community that I have ever seen, man. I swear. And I probably say that because I pay more attention to Madden community. All of the other communities are probably the same way. But we're speaking about football. We're football people, so it's mostly my eyes focused on what Madden is doing or if any other football game comes out. But keep that in mind. Gameplay is more important because that seems to get lost sometimes. But I'm going to save that until we dive into the franchise stuff. I'll kick the tires a little bit, man, first, and then we'll throw it to Smitty, and I'm sure we'll bounce off of each other. Overall, man, to me, the beta was surprising. I say surprising because I've been waiting for the day that I could play a game of Madden. And I'm talking about not only is the player movement better, but there's minimal warping. I was like, wait a minute now. I literally was trying to make it happen. Now, don't get it twisted. You're going to see it at times. There's still, and this is for you guys who haven't played the beta. A lot of some of you guys in here, or who might be coming in here later, or who might even hear this on the rebound, may have been in the beta. So you guys, I'm not really necessarily talking to you guys, but we always have to keep in mind there's some who didn't get that opportunity. Because believe it or not, Smitty, people have sent me messages saying, man, why you keep talking about what happened in the beta? We know. No, we don't. And a whole bunch of people didn't play. These people want to hear. But I don't know. Why am I even giving that time? But anyway, it's drastically improved, in my opinion, over 19 in terms of just the warping and shifting. Will you still see it from time to time when the two-man animation kicks in? Yeah. Was it as blatant and obvious as it is in Madden 19? No. I would have to say no. A lot cleaner. And you don't have to just listen to me and believe me. Listen to most of the people who are talking about the beta. A lot of people are saying the same thing. There are times when you won't see it at all. But again, there's times where if it kicks in, it's minimal. Not as bad as it is in 19. You still see from time to time, some slight suction blocks from time to time. I think that they could still work on that. That's just my opinion, because I feel like this now. And, Smitty knows that what I'm about to say, we should know better than to say this, because nothing is easy. But I feel like if you were able to reduce some of these things the way that you have, then you should be able to continue to do that. Like, I feel like if you've gotten it that far, you should be able to close the gap a little further to continue to reduce, the minimal shifting and warping that you're seeing. Yes, guys, there are still two-man animations that you don't really have control once it starts. I felt like, Smitty, while playing the game, that the ones that were triggering, made more sense. I didn't have as much problem with it because, like I said, I wasn't getting them triggering from so far away. Y'all know in 19, there's sometimes that you'll throw a drag and the dude pretty much warp 10 yards from left to right just to get in position to play out that two-man animation. I didn't see that in 20. The player movement is a lot better, particularly on the left stick, of course. When you're controlling the player, but you can see it on the rest of the players as well. There were times where I saw cornerbacks being out of position because of the way they had to stop, turn, and then try to get back and play. The super linebacker is not there. You're able to throw the ball into spots. Pass trajectories are a lot better. Physics seems a lot better. The gang tackling that they advertise in the blogs, you're seeing it. When guys come in, you're not seeing guys fly off like they do in 19 and other iterations of Madden. I still think it get a little better, because what you do still see, what I don't like, there's still some of those situational animations, and you guys know what I'm talking about. When they, like the one when they get engaged and they fall forward and nobody else can, there's still some animations that it seems like if you're not lined up exactly in the right spot, you can't interrupt it. I hate that, because I am an advocate of saying that physics needs to be on all the time. Not only does it need to be on all the time, but along with being on all the time, it needs to, mass and weight and physical stature, your leverage, all of that stuff has to be accounted for, and I don't think it's fully there yet. Definitely don't. What else, Smitty? Before I throw it to you, just, a high-level review here. Man coverage is better. Pretty solid. There are some open spots, but, I always have a tough time with this one, Smitty, because, again, I think a lot of times certain people you listen to, they got that video game mentality. They want it to work all the time. They trying to lock people down with these average corners. And I'm like, okay, well, where do we draw the line? I didn't get a chance to play against guys like Ramsey and, some of the real legit guys. So, I'll be able to do more testing, because with it being Father's Day weekend and I had to travel one day, I didn't get as much time as I wanted. But it's gonna, it's still gonna come down to how these things are balanced. I do feel like the abilities and things are balanced pretty well. I didn't really feel like anything was overpowered. Not to my knowledge yet. Again, I still need to do more testing and more specific testing. I didn't do a lot of labbing. Y'all know how I do. My feedback comes from me firing it up, playing. When I see something good or bad, I go in and try to figure out what happened. That's where my feedback comes in. I'm not one of those guys who just sits and lab in practice mode all day. I usually do that after I have the game for a decent amount of time where I have time to do that. Pass rush. Whoa moly. Holy moly. Yes. Loves it. Do not touch it. Do not touch pass rush.
I got some things to say about that when you're done. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I'm about to wrap it up here. The pass rush, guys, to me, is good. Um, the trenches, I would still like to see. Y'all know, man. I feel like a broken record. I always say leverage, momentum, weight, blah blah blah. Y'all know that what I'm gonna say about that. I still need to see more of that in the trenches. I still feel like it's still more win or loss. You know, there's even text now if you have those tips turned on that will tell you if it's a win or loss. But I didn't feel like it was crazy. I felt like it was cleaner than the 19, and I had more control. Even when I used it, a D lineman, if I didn't get it on the first go round, I was still able to push up the middle. And on a second, third, or fourth attempt, I was able to kind of muscle through. So it felt more organic, even though in reality, I know it's not in terms of, just that physical interaction. But outside of that, man, again, that's just the high level. I know I'm missing a ton of things, and hadn't even dived into franchise yet. We're just talking about how the game felt. I'm encouraged, man, by the gameplay. I really am. I'm encouraged by what they've done. It shocked me, and it feels like a totally different game to me than 19. I'm actually about to play week 16. Madden 19, and this is gonna be the last season for me. Definitely, absolutely, in our league. I'm just touring through the motions, man. I can't even do it, but that's all I got right now. But definitely, I'm sure I'll bounce off of Smitty, man. What you got, Smitty? What were your overall general thoughts of just the gameplay itself from the beta?
Well, my overall impressions on the game, talking about the beta here. Look, I'm very much impressed with what they're bringing to the table with this game here. There's no going around that, no doubting that or second guessing that. Now, the one thing that I want to make crystal clear, number one, do not touch pass rush. No matter what you do, no matter how people feel, I don't care who doesn't know how to do what. Do not touch the pass rush. If you cannot handle a pass rush, either get into practice mode or else leave the game alone. The game's evolved past you. That's it. Now, for people that are saying, and listen, I understand some people getting upset about, I don't like the throwing motions. I got problems with it, everything else. I feel you, but this is the problem that I have, and this is what I was saying when I was talking on Periscope. The issue that I have with it is that I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, this is the same thing that we talk about when we see games implement things the first time. When it's first implemented and it doesn't work perfectly, it needs, build off of it. Okay? Build off of it from there. If speeding it up means it's gonna compromise the dang on game, don't touch it. Leave it alone. People are just gonna have to get the ball off quicker. And that's it. You're just gonna have to make your decision quick. Even quicker. Because this is the kind of stuff that ended up happening. They fix it. Oh, don't say if they fix it, something else will mess up. That's possible, but at the same time, I don't want, look, I don't have a problem with the passing, to be quite honest. I can pass just fine. But I understand what some people saying, oh, I don't like to wind up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get that. But what I was saying is that leave if they were to speed up that delivery, then they should speed up the intensity they should increase the intensity of the pass rush. That's my feeling because of what I had talked about, the whole 2.7 seconds in the pocket on average for quarterback. So, and see, just like you said, that's not sim football. At the same time, when I kept on saying it takes 2.7 seconds for a quarterback on average in the NFL to get the pass off, according to 2018 NFL stats, folk had things to say against it. And it's like, well, if that's what's happening, shouldn't that happen in the game then? You know what I mean? Like, shouldn't we have to deal with that kind of pressure as well? That just makes sense to me. But, like I said,
Hold up,
But
Smitty, real quick, man. But
yeah,
before we go past it, what
yeah, go ahead.
what are people saying? I don't know if it was in the comment or what, but what are
Mhm.
people saying is not sim football?
The throwing motion, basically, like how the throwing motion for both mid and deep passes
Oh,
is
okay.
the same for short pass.
Oh, got you. Okay,
That's what
okay.
they're saying. They're saying like speed up the well, excuse me. Some people, especially sim guys, were saying over that past weekend, we're saying speed up the passing in general. They weren't saying just for medium and deep. Then they curved it. But you see how people are talking online. They're not talking about, oh, just do the short passes. They're talking about speeding it up altogether. So so what I'm saying is leave it alone. If they can touch it and don't mess anything up, fine. Leave it alone. That's perfectly fine. But but if it's going to mess up, if it's going to mess up and compromise the game, leave it alone. And you end users, you're just gonna have to get the ball out quicker. That's it. Um, but that part was, because the game is won and lost there, so that's why I'm putting so much weight and emphasis on that. Because in past years, what happens is Madden 17, and you remember Sim, people cried and complained when they were getting sack fumbled left and right because they wanted to hold on to the ball to the last second and then throw the ball when the defender's right in their face, and they complained and the game got nerfed. So I don't want to see that stuff happening here again with this Madden installment. So the pass rush was cool.
Especially after, and I will never let them live this down if they nerf it. And I'm gonna speak positively. I'm gonna say they ain't gonna touch it, but if they do, I will never let them live down what was said in the blog and on stream. Pass rush is going to be a thing. You have to learn how to get the ball out. Guys are gonna have to get the ball out fast. That's what Clint Oldenburg said verbatim. So I wish they would touch it. And y'all gonna see one disgruntled Madden representative or whatever y'all want to call me, because I will not allow them to get away with that. I'm like, nah, V, no way. Y'all, this was part of your advertisement.
Right.
They bet not touch it, man. They bet not touch that. That's all I got to say. I hope y'all listening too. Y'all know I love y'all, but sometimes family fights. Y'all better not touch that pass rush. That's all I do know. All right, Smitty, man. I just had to get that out.
All right. All right, but no, man. The way that the passing is in the game and everything else, like I said, I don't want to see it get messed with. I don't want to see that get messed with. The secondary play, like I said before, they got to work on that. They got to work on that zone play, man. They got to get better. I need to see better, much better movement throughout the zones, man. We need movement. We don't need these dudes to be covering grass,
Yeah.
and that's it. It still is too mechanical. Now, I know it's a beta, but at the same time, these issues been going on for a long time. They've been going on for a mighty long time. So it's something that legitimately legitimately needs to be addressed. The man defense, while it is better at the same time, the windows need to be a little bit tighter on the man defense. Like how Sim could relate to this. How it wasn't. Remember when we was at EA Play for Madden 18 and how the man defense was there?
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
could make the man defense like that, I would be very happy. Because even though there was separation, especially with the passing now, oh yes, that would be beautiful if they could get it. Like the windows are tighter, the defense is going to play tighter, but you still get separation. You know what I mean? You don't have linebackers handling routes all over the field and all that stuff, but the coverage was legit. The man coverage was legit. Like right now, I mean, I know I was playing mainly with the Lions, but I know they're not the best team to really determine, man defense with. But the point is that the point I'm getting at is that when it came to playing man defense, it was still very, like if defenders ran an out route, I mean, dudes are getting lost. Like they are really getting lost, and I mean, it looked bad. So when they need to do much better than that, it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be that. Oh man, it shouldn't be that tight. When it comes to it shouldn't be that loose. Excuse me. When it comes to playing that secondary defense like that, you know what I'm saying? Because they're the NFL. This isn't Pop Warner. This isn't high school. Players shouldn't get the worst defender with the least amount of awareness shouldn't be getting that lost on the basic route. They didn't do a double move. They didn't do any, out and ups. They didn't do no zig. Like there was no special move made for them to just get shook up like that. That shouldn't be happening on a regular basis like that. That's my point. So, but other than that, though, I mean, those things they need to work on. I enjoyed the passing. I still didn't get enough. Like passing is still something that I still was getting used to, even though I was playing with different quarterbacks and everything. I still had to get used to some stuff. But all in all, man, I'm not disappointed at all. Like I'm not disappointed at all with the game. Star players actually are playing like star players, and it's not OP. And what's interesting to me is how Tom Brady, of all
Yes.
the players, Tom Brady is the one people are like, yo, Tom Brady's OP. Isn't that crazy? Because usually a player that's OP is about speed.
OP. Come on, man.
You see what I'm saying?
We need to
You see,
cut that out, man.
yeah, like saying that Tom Brady is OP, and no, no, no. And what I mean, see, what I take from it is Tom Brady being OP is legit. Look at my man's is old, and he's one of the best. He's elite. He's one of the top end elite players in the NFL. He should be OP to some degree. He should, because my man is battling against Father Time in a legit way. He's getting it done. It's crazy how he is, but he's able to get it done, and that's how the game should be translating it, and it's translating it the right way. Because remember, whenever we see OP, it's usually a wide receiver. Why? Because he's super fast or super tall. It's quarterback. If it's related to quarterback, it's only Mike Vick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
because of how fast he is. It's not because he got an arm. It's because of how fast he is. You see what I'm saying? And my man's Tom Brady, he ain't scrambling for nothing. But they gave him the abilities, and that's necessary. Oh, and let me speak this general point. And this is just going a little bit off the page, but understand this. I spoke to. Hold on one second here.
Yeah, I'll jump in really quick, man, while Smitty is
Yeah, go ahead.
tending to some business there. Want to give a shout out, man, and a round of applause to Chris Castile as well as my guy Jump Too Raw. Round of applause. Yeah, Jump, man. See, that's what real ones do, man. When I noticed it, you see, I hit you right away. But, we ain't going to talk about that here. But, yeah, definitely, man. I had to look out for you the best I could, hoping it would work out. But, yeah, man, I want to really talk really quick, man, before, until Smitty's able to come back, just really fast, about the OP narrative. We have to start going with consensus. And I think that's really where us guys in the sim community, as well as, the competitive community, because let's face it, those are the top two priority. The casual, of course, the suits want to sell more tickets. Or, I'm talking in music terms. They want to sell more units, I guess I would say. But let's face it, the most vocal people are definitely the sim community and the competitive community. And the competitive community sometimes might be heard a little more, only because they are also on television and, et cetera, et cetera. That draws a lot of power and money for Madden as well. But this is where we have to reach a consensus when we start saying things are OP. Because too many people just immediately say, oh, that's OP. Oh, Tom Brady's OP. Oh, Aaron Donald is OP. And I'm like, dog, how else are we going to replicate these guys and make them play like themselves? I told y'all, for you guys who saw my video, I jumped into franchise mode. Week 1, I had to play Tom Brady in New England. It was quite a game. And I adjusted. And this is on all Madden, by the way. I played on all Madden. The only two, sliders that I adjusted was QB accuracy for the QB. I turned it to 25 for the CPU, as well as pass blocking. And I did that because in most cases, especially in Madden 19, pass rush is null and void on all Madden. So, just out of habit, I put it on 25 and it felt good. It wasn't the situation like if you put pass rush to 0 and every time you make a move, you're going to win. No. It won't like that. I was still not able to get through most of the time, but sometimes I was. It felt about right. But anyway, to get to the point of the story, I go up 21-7 because I was able to run the rock, control the game. When they started shutting me down in the pass game, I started running that thing, toting that rock, getting 4, 5, 6 yards a pop. Tom Brady says, I'm not having that. Gets in the zone. And boy, was I nervous. The next thing I know, it's 21-13. They have the ball again. Here they come. And I never felt like it was OP. I felt like I was more engaged in that game. A CPU game, mind you, at that. I was more engaged in that game and more immersed in the game than I've been in a very long time because I had to pay attention to Brady. I had to be on my keys. I had to user some guys like, I was like, all right, I got to be disciplined. I can't just roam the middle of the field. I got to pick either the safety. All right, I'm going to throw it back to you in a second. I got to either pick a safety and play the position or play the linebacker position. I couldn't just roam the field. Luckily enough, Brady throws the ball down to about the 20-yard line. I time it perfectly. With Devin Bush, I might add. I hope to see this young man in the real world. Bam! Hit stick, knock the ball out, fumble, we recover, and I was able to win the game 21-13. But that game was crispy, and I was still getting pressure on Brady. He was just able to get the ball out. I couldn't quite get to him all the time. I did sack him a time or two in that game. So my point is, everyone keeps saying these things are OP. We got to get out of the video game mentality on both accounts. Meaning, we got to stop thinking everything's going to work. And we got to stop thinking that, God, just because something is working the way it probably should, then it's OP. Now, like I said, it's got to be a consensus. If most of us are saying the same thing, then obviously, okay, that's an actual issue. But to just say, man, Tom Brady was overpowered, I don't think so. Not at all. Nor did I think Aaron Donald was overpowered. I had to plan around Aaron Donald. Let me tell you who else I had to plan around. Oh God, I just lost his name just that fast. I can't remember, guys. Oh, Geno Atkins. Lord have mercy. Bruh. And the funny thing is, one of the decent additions to franchise, because it ain't flushed out at all, at least not in the beta. But when the OC told me, hey, man, we got to prepare for this guy, bruh, Geno Atkins, I literally had to run away from him or pick my spots. When I ran with a fullback, I got a few more yards. But if I tried to run single back to his side and he happened to be on the opposite side and it wasn't David DeCastro that was blocking him, oh boy, it was a nightmare. I held the ball too long, nightmare. And I loved it because I had to adjust. So that's all I'm saying, man. Let's get a little more time. Let's test things a little more before we start talking about things are OP. We got to cut that out, man. We really got to stop doing that in this community because like Smitty said, and I'll throw it back to Smitty right after this here, In Madden 17, man, and the aggressive catch and all that came out, numerous people showed you guys how to defend it. NYKia included. I made videos. Bunch of people. I think even Smitty made videos.
Yep.
Showing you how to defend it, but no. It's OP. It's OP. And next thing you know, it's out of the game. So, that's all I got to say, man. Take it away, Smitty.
All right, so I'll say this, and I mean, yeah, I'm with Sim on that, you know, getting rid of saying OP or whatever. But I mean, the thing is, one thing that I was seeing across the board was, I'll say to a healthy extent, was that even though people said it was OP, they weren't saying OP in the negative sense. They were saying OP as in, yeah, he should be. You know what I'm saying? Khalil Mack being that monster off the edge. Yeah, he should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that were those destroyers, they should be. Tom Brady being, and like I said, Tom Brady being who he is, he should be. And the crazy part is, before people played this beta, folk were like, man, I don't know about these abilities. It's going to be cheesy. I don't know. We got to see. And now it's like, yo, these abilities, though. Oh, my gosh, this is beautiful. Yo, they did something good, man. And I mean, all the second guessing was, that's understandable because of how EA's track record.
Right.
I get that.
Reputation.
Yeah, so this is how you turn the corner by doing things like this. Now, let me say that. Let me get to the point I was going to get at. And I got to shout out my man, Soft Drink Sports. Because what he said on Twitter today, and one or two other people co-signed with him. And I was saying, he was saying, you know, because he played the beta. I gave him a code and everything. He played it. And he said that, you know, he's disappointed with Madden. They didn't redo the franchise mode the way he wanted it to. And he's comparing it to Gen 2 Maddens. And, I mean, rightfully so, if that's what you're looking at. And I've streamed it, too. So I get the point. And he's like, they need to do a complete rebuild, overhaul, all that.
That's actually the problem.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing. This is the thing, though. I told him all, like, so you're talking about setting the game back at least a good 4 years by doing something like that. If they were to actually do that, would you be comfortable with that kind of move being made? And he's like, considering that it's going to be impacted by end users, because end users are going to complain and they're not going to like certain things. And now you're talking about holdups because stuff getting like what we're talking about now. Things that we play or hear about, oh, it looks good, feels good, and then stuff gets nerfed. Right? So now you're still stuck between a rock and a hard place. But this is the interesting thing, though. What do you think is going on right in front of your face? All this that's happening right now, this is rebuild right here. This is literally it.
Yeah.
And think about it. Your reaction is negative right now. And you're saying with the stuff they're doing with the game right now, they need to rebuild it. But they're doing it, though. See what I'm saying? That's the issue. See, there's never going to be a point where you're going to truly be happy with what's going on, because I know there are people that are thoroughly disappointed because they didn't get the franchise mode they wanted. But like Sim and I have said many times over, even though you read the blog from Mike Young and everything else, they have to build it. Okay? It has to be built. No matter how you feel, no matter how much you play whatever old gen Madden or how much you pump your fist for 2K to come back, it still has to be built out by EA. Even 2K, if they get involved, they got to build it too. It's got to be built. So that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Is that unfortunately they have to build it, and what is that going to unfortunately take? That's going to take them cycles. In turn, that's going to take them years to do. And I'm sorry, but the big step that I like is that this franchise mode is going to be a live service now. So
that's key.
So think about it. Think about it. All the all the stuff that we see happen to Mutt. Oh man, look at all the updates Mutt get. Look at this, da 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 da. All the stuff that they're getting done. Guess what? Now, franchise mode is going to get that love too. Now, how much they're going to get, we got to wait and see. But with it being a live service, now who knows? They could add modes, they could add depth, they could add features and things like that during the course of the cycle. So we don't know what could possibly happen. The way that it's starting out right now, who knows how it may end up and then continue on going forward from there. Who knows? Just like they talked about continuous development with Ultimate Team. Remember when they introduced Ultimate Team, they introduced MUT seasons and all that stuff? They introduced that. That was mid-cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? What else did they like? I don't know everything they added in MUT because I don't pay attention to MUT like that. But they've added like seasons. They added in multiple facets. You see what I'm saying? Into their game. And even what that is up here saying right now. See, he's talking about EA will never build it, but they're literally doing it right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's literally happening right now in front of your face, whether you see it or not. It's literally, or choose to acknowledge it is a better word. It's happening right in front of your face, man. He said, give an example. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm not the designer. I don't know what they're gonna do. So that's why I don't know what they can do. Who knows what they'll be able to do, man? We gotta see. Like, I mean, I ain't trying to be funny. I ain't trying to be a smart aleck or nothing. But it's like I wouldn't know unless I'm in the room. But who knows what they can do? That's the whole point. Is that there's more that they're going to be able to do through continuous development, other than just some simple aesthetics, and that's it. There's a lot more they'll be able to do now. So I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, other than that, man, I mean, like I said, man, the beta showcases promise. I'm pleased with the gameplay, and the key thing is gameplay is a key part because that's how the game plays. Without the core gameplay, no one's going to give two flying farts how much you put into franchise mode or not. So, is the gameplay in the greatest spot ever? No. But is it in a legitimate spot to be enjoyable potentially for the whole year right now? Yes. So I look forward to getting down on the full release and, you know, just straight being able to fully swan dive into this game. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed the beta for what it was worth thoroughly. So I'll throw back to you, brother.
I just don't. I'm sick right now, man, because I'm mustering through this Madden 19 week 16 of the franchise. God, I'm done after this, man. Literally, our online league. I already told everybody. I was like, look, I can't do it no more. But anyway, this is what I don't get sometimes from this Madden community. We either, I mean, do we want them to change or don't we? What is it? Because the reason why I say that, there are numerous people that, and I'm sure some of y'all is right here in this chat tonight. It's always the pessimistic point of view. Why? And the reason why I say that, fellas and ladies, if y'all are out there, if the game improves, it will. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Why do you take the pessimist attitude about it and the approach about it? Like, because to me, right, if I was involved in anything and I was like, they ain't gonna never do this, they ain't gonna never do that, I'm done with that. You feel me? And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to get anybody to act the way I would and saying my way is right or wrong, but what is the point? What is your end game? That's the question. Mr. Marvel. What's your end game for the pessimist? I'm really being serious here because I don't understand. I don't get those folks. Oh, it's the same thing every year. They're never going to do it. Oh, it's mad. What do you expect? Okay, I feel you if that's how you feel. But what is your point? Because if I felt like that, I'd wash my hands. I'm done with it. You see what I'm saying? Again, that's just me. It's good for all of us to be frustrated. I mean, I'm sure you guys heard that come across in my voice in the video I put out earlier today. And you're going to hear it in a little while when we get into the franchise stuff. But I also remember the day and time where Hyundais were trash vehicles. I remember that. I remember those days.
Yeah.
Now, Hyundai, they aight. I don't know, how many people like them in terms of quality. I'm just saying, the Hyundai look aight now. The Kia look aight. It happened all of a sudden. One day you woke up, whoa, okay, they did a little something this year. And then the next time, now they got this, they got that. Then before you know it, Kia, Hyundai had the big body, the Ecus, I believe the name of the car is. John, look aight. And look at Ray say, I love my Kia Optima. That's what I'm saying. But at one point, you won't rock it with no Kia. But all I'm saying is all it take is 1 year. Like Dad said, you never know. Madden 20 could be a turning point. None of us know. And none of us, I'm not invested that much into it to where they ain't gonna do, I'm not, dog. If they don't, they don't. Now, of course, me and Smitty, we're in this Madden community and we consider ourselves still, community representatives and all that. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to get to that approach, there's no point in me being here. And I told y'all from jump that, what did I say? Madden 20 got to show me something. It's got to show me something. I needed to see the gameplay take strides in an area that I have always complained about, which is player movement, warping, motion shifting. It did, from what we saw. I needed to see something happen in franchise. Now, we didn't get what we want, but something's happening. There's some movement there. We got abilities in franchise. Holy moly. How long have we been asking for that? But don't worry. Keep your ears listen, keep them tight here to the radio. We about to get into our thoughts and dislikes of, and just our discuss of where franchise is as a whole. But I'm just saying, it's just me, man. Listen, I'm not nobody's, I'm none of you guys, mentor, father, none of that. I'm just saying, man, what is the point of being so pessimistic, man? Like, it is not going to get us what's the point? If you feel that bad about it, just bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need for you to have that type of disdain over anything if you don't really want it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's move on, Smitty, man, because, if I can, I would like to be done before 10 tonight. You guys know my story. I don't need to repeat it to you guys as far as Thursday nights. But I'm going to take a deep sigh for all my franchise homies. I wish I had some liquor right now. I could pour it out for the homies. Oh, man. My man Expert is in here. Mad other franchise people are in here. I know, Neff is a franchise guy. Smitty a franchise guy. I mean, y'all know the routine. Here's the part that really grinds my gears, Smitty. Two things. It's going to be a two-part gear grinder. Number one, franchise mode. We have been asking for certain features for a very, very long time. One of them being coaching carousel. What is coaching carousel? Some people might want to know. Well, there's multiple coaches. Coaches can be fired. You have a staff, etc., etc. I'm not going to go deep into it because you guys listening tonight know what it is. You played NCAA, you know what it is. Now, the reason why I am so pissed off, I might say, is because NCAA was made where? EA Tiburon. Mainly made by a good amount of the folks who are on the EA Madden gameplay and just development team in general. Ben Harmiller, you guys may know him. Yeah, he's on the Madden team, folks. A lot of the gameplay guys from NCAA, and you guys loved NCAA 14. Guess where they at? Yeah, they're on the Madden team. Ironically, shout outs to NY Kia and Eric Rayweather. I do agree with this. The beta kind of did feel a little bit like NCAA 14. I'd have to agree with that. Kind of had that smooth feeling to it like NCAA. But that's just a sidebar. Well, anyway, NCAA was a football game that had coaching carousel on the college level. Naturally, you would think it would get in Madden. Naturally. And this, I'm talking about when NCAA is still being made in-house. My natural thought was, oh, yeah, we're going to get this in Madden. Nope. NCAA goes away. We never get it. And all of a sudden, hockey? No disrespect to hockey. I'm not a hockey enthusiast. I like watching the Pens every now and then. Beat up some folk. But hockey? Hockey got coaching carousel before Madden. Bruh, you got to be pulling my leg. This must be a joke. Is it April 1st? This has got to be April Fool's Day. Do y'all understand how pissed off I was when I read that information? Shopmaster and I just talked about this Tuesday night on his show. Shop and myself, and Smitty might have been there for this one. I think Smitty was there this time. It was either Smitty or Azure, but we had a meeting upstairs in EA. You remember that, Smitty? I think you might have been there. I can't remember. It was either you or Azure, but we had a meeting about franchise mode and things we want. And coaching carousel was right there on the tops of the list. This was like 4 years ago, folks. Still ain't in Madden, but EA Canada, once again, proves my theory somewhat right that EA Canada just seems to have a better focus or a better handle on things. But here's the other reason why I'm pissed off, and I'm going to throw it back to Smitty. Regardless of whether you guys want to accept it or not, the biggest disappointment, Smitty, is the fact that this is going to take time. The harsh reality is Madden, the Madden, power heads and the money, the big dogs. The truth of the matter is they just have not committed to franchise mode for umpteen years. And that's why we're in the position we're in right now. Gameplay seems that gameplay has caught up. But now we waiting on franchise. And we're going to have to wait because these things do not happen overnight. They just don't. It's impossible. Because like I told you guys in the video I did the other day, the top 5 missing features, shameless plug on my own channel. But if you haven't seen that video, I talked about the top 5 features, in my opinion, that's still not there. And the reason why they're not there is the way Tiburon works, guys. They focus on one thing, and that's where most of the resources and assets go for that particular cycle, i.e. long shot, i.e. QB1, face of the franchise. So I knew as soon as I saw that trailer with Patrick Mahomes and that was the reveal trailer for the cover, and they started talking about this QB1. I said, uh-oh. I remember when me and Rex talked about Superstar. I didn't think it was going to be that way. Oh, no. This lets me know standard franchise is probably going to take a hit. Not necessarily a hit, but there's probably not going to be much done. And I was right. Luckily enough, we did get the abilities. But that's the harsh reality, folks, is the fact that you can't do this stuff overnight. Mm-hmm. It's going to take time. And I'm frustrated because I'm tired of waiting. I am tired of waiting. I am a gamer who primarily loves football. I want to spend my time on a football game and thoroughly enjoy it. That's all I ask for. And I believe I'm going to enjoy Madden 20. from a gameplay standpoint, but I don't have any depth. And that is the harsh truth about it, man. We're gonna have to wait, and that's just the truth. There's no way they could have done all of the stuff that we wanted this quickly. Impossible. But that coaching carousel stung, Smitty. That one hurt. That one hurt big time. The fact that it's got in hockey before it did in a football game that is made at Tiburon. Go ahead, Smitty, man. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I just don't know, brother.
Well, I mean, I know that we wanted those NCAA 14 features in the game. Honestly, I mean, and this is even dipping back into the PS2 pot because they had it. Like, it was already there before.
Already there.
So they had that, players coming back as coaches, and the thing that was different was that you couldn't tell who what is it that I'm looking for? Who that like players coming back as I already said the players coming back as coaches. But the big time slap in the face part here is just that we didn't get to see. We're getting to see in NHL what it is that we wanted in Madden. Now, you could make things right with the world. I highly doubt, because you got to build that all the way out. Now, I don't think they could go that far. I'm thinking of the whole live service thing, but I'm like, nah, they couldn't do that much. That'd be taking it to a whole nother level. For them to update the game and legitimately be able to say, hey, guys, I know we couldn't get it in at launch, but we were able, through continuous development, to get the coach carousel in the game. Like, I highly doubt. If they did that, if they did it, it would be makeshift and it probably wouldn't function that well. So I definitely wouldn't want them to do that. But it is a disappointing thing to not get to see what they do with Madden, and we like, oh yeah, they did a little something, and then now look at what NHL got.
Oh, that hurt, man.
All that stuff that they did in that game, all the stuff that they announced. What is it that we got? And like I was telling Sim before the show, the only thing that we got right now is that you have particular traits that are locked when it comes to rookies. Trait.
Should be all of them, by the way. Instead of just the superstars and X. Because I think, Smitty, man, just a sidebar, I think it's too easy to still identify who those guys are. Because, like I said, it happened with Devin Bush, and he had the little question mark. And I guess maybe that's a cheat code because, obviously, he's, slated to be a star. But still, I think if it's only on those players, then as soon as you see a guy and his dev trading there, he gonna be at the very least a superstar.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I think it should be on everybody. And all of them, there are no traits nowhere. And then you find out in week 7, oh man, this dude is a bum. Right. That to me is more, immersive in being like, oh man, I was hoping he was gonna be something. Instead of knowing, well, I at least got a superstar coming. I don't like that side of it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It takes away from the mystique. Because remember, when we seen that whole fog of war and all that stuff that they introduced in NHL last year, I'm like, oh, so I think it was like, what, if you draft a player that you didn't scout yet or whatever, you're not going to really know what their skills are until you play with them for a little bit. I'm like, that's how it should really be. I can appreciate that it's one trait, but at the same time, it still is doing a disservice because of what we already have. You know what I'm saying? What we already have done in Madden, in NHL. You know what I'm saying? We should have seen a move, we should have seen a lateral move made instead. This is what we did in NHL. Oh, snap. We took it over to Madden and we took it up a notch. Instead of it being just a sidestep move. So that sucks. And on top of that, you got more signature shots and more modes with the shell and everything. Like that's the kind of play that's the playground they made. That's the playground that they have now. But you can have that when your core gameplay is there. Look, NHL got issues and all that stuff. I know that crowd is gonna, they know what's up. But when I play the game, it still is giving me a legitimate interpretation of what I see on TV. It may not be perfect, and I don't know hockey like that at all. But I know just enough to watch when I see, like I know what I'm watching when I watch the games. And it's sound. And it just sucks to see Madden keep getting shafted and not getting these things done in the game and not getting this depth. I seriously hope that the commitment Mike Young had made from what he was talking about can honestly be thoroughly lived out. Because right now, all he's able to really speak on is potential. And, while potential's cool, but potential is not the end-all, be-all. You know what I'm saying? Potential only goes but so far. We need to see what this game is actually going to bring forth at that point. And, right to get the little bit that we got is just, it's a big disappointment. At least to me. It's a big time disappointment because I expected more. You know what I'm saying? Especially from that blog a month or so ago from Mike Young. I
wish it was Mike Wayne.
Yeah, I know, right?
No disrespect, to Mike Young if you listening. But, hey, brother, I got to call it like I call it, like I see it, man. Listen, I wish it was Mike Wayne.
Look, man, EA, Tiburon keep getting gunned up and clapped quick. It can't keep being like that, dog. Every time Tiburon makes a small move, it's like Canada just is leaping. I mean, golly, geez, man. Like, can they do? Look, I know we aren't the ones that got all the answers and everything, but I'm pretty sure somebody in that building is like, can we holla at Canada? Can we holla at them or something? And they're just not getting a green light. That would be my belief. That would be my belief if I was to go with the gut. That's what I would feel, because it just doesn't make sense to be like, this is the absolute best that could be done as far as flushing this game out. I don't know, man. I don't know. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I like what they done with the gameplay and everything like that. I do, but there's just more that can be done. There's more that can be built out and everything. And we spoke about it in the past and everything when we would go to the studio and talk to John White and all that stuff and everything. And it's like, they got brilliant ideas. They have great minds in terms of what they want to do and everything. But it's like them putting the work out there, just like you talked about Kobe.
Oh.
You talked about it in the video, like Kobe and the stuff that Kobe said. Man, please. Now, the stuff that Kobe said would have put this to shame. From what Kobe had told us back then.
I don't even want to tell him, man. You notice I've never said exactly what he wanted.
Oh, he never said that. That right there.
Gosh.
That right there, what he said to me, Sim, and AZ, when we was in there that day, that would put, at least in my opinion, I believe, that would put Madden, if not, I think it would put it right up there with my league, if not better.
Oh my God.
And what he was talking about. Not just off the field, especially what he said for on the field too, it would have took it to a whole nother level. Whole different stratosphere.
Yeah, no question.
So So I'm saying, man, okay. So I'm saying, they can't keep dragging their feet through the mud with innovating, because that's what people are gonna. That's where people are gonna start playing the NHLs and the FIFAs and all that. Look, I can't wait to play that Volta in FIFA. I can't, because they taking it back to FIFA Street to an extent, but that's part of the soccer culture. That's part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see. I want to get back. I want to see what's going to happen with that game. But see, the reason why I'm excited is not because they put it in there. It's because of how the game plays. Me and Sim have done numerous videos, and we talk to each other about FIFA, and we're like, OMG, look at this gameplay. Look at the pursuit angles. Look at the physics. Look at this. Look at that. So many things, and now you're adding this mode back after you didn't flush this game out like this. And that's the point we're talking about. That's what we're saying. Build the stuff out, and you can have endless possibilities with how you can, how you can truly make this game impactful in your own right. And it'll still be critically respected. You know what I'm saying? So, you say you got to wait till 2021? I mean, well, and that's expected. I'm not shocked by that at all whatsoever. Like, I already know that it's going to take them time to build the game out. That's not that's not a shock. But they could do it in a few years' time, like what Rex said when he did his interview with W, I think it was back then. He was like, if they're given the ability to create the way that they can, they got the talent to they could turn the whole ship around and really make things crack in like 2 years' time. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then Riss is a guy that worked directly with all these people. So coming for him to say that, it's like, yeah, you got to let them cats work, man. You let them work, who knows where this game could go? Like, truly go.
But nobody listens to that, though, Smitty.
Yeah.
And that's why I had said, too, man, I might even just stop even addressing that, man, because people keep putting it on the dev level. I don't understand how, when the creative director in Rex Dixon tells you what the real problem was, why are y'all still trying to say, nah, the devs are lazy and blah blah? I don't understand how y'all come to this conclusion. I really don't. Now, if we're talking about what's in the game, what they do put in the game, yeah, of course, have at it, have your opinion about what they do and what they don't do. But from a development standpoint, it baffles me how people still say it's on the developers. I do not understand that. You don't have to listen to me. Rex Dixon told you that. This man was the creative director. One thing that y'all can listen to me and Smitty about, we have seen designs for other stuff. Do you understand? we know it. Do y'all think okay, let's put it on a smaller scale. A lot of y'all in here know Moonlight Swami.
Oh yeah.
Y'all think Swami don't got these ideas? Y'all going, theoretically look me in the face and tell me Swami don't know what to do. He ain't got no franchise ideas.
Yeah.
Swami don't want contracts to be where they need to be. Okay. That's all I'm saying, man. I just want our community to move on a better accord. That's why I keep trying to get you guys to change the narrative, because it ain't gonna work. That's not going to work, because you know what actually happens. And yeah, Brett, I saw your text. We'll bring you in on this for a second, man. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get out of here before 10 o'clock. But here's the funny thing. Some truth that some of you guys should try to realize. They're human beings, right? So what happens, what do you do when you know you are being held back in a sense? You're not able to maximize your full potential because of somebody else. And how would you feel if you got somebody else telling you you don't know what you're doing, you trash, such and such is better than you? Think about that. Think about that. Think about that from a sports standpoint. With some of you, well, listen, I ain't bragging or nothing, but that ain't happened to your boy. I was always a pretty decent star athlete. You know what I mean? If I could toot my horn a little bit. But yeah, it was a time when I was younger, maybe middle school, where the coach ain't really know my potential, and then people telling me, nah, he's better. I'm like, yeah, okay, just give me the ball. And that's all I'm saying. So while we keep going with that narrative, right? Sometimes the devs will tune you out. They're human. They are human. And I'm just saying, of course they can take criticism, but when you spewing stuff that is not remotely true, your voice could be muted. And I don't want that to happen. I want all of us to have the highest and the loudest voice as possible, and we all beating on the same drum, we on the same accord. That's the only reason why I keep saying that.
That's how you get change done.
Yeah.
That's how moves are made. When you look at communities like we talk, and we did, this is like old right here. We talked about this like ages ago. But when you look at Mass Effect, you look at games like Star Wars and stuff like that. When people move in unison on stuff, that's how you get impactful change. That's stuff that they could take into meetings and be like, hey man, look, we got all these people that are saying this, that, and the third needs to happen in regards of this part of the game or this mode or this, it has to be like that. When you got people that when you have people that just sit up there and they're just criticizing all day and that's it, and it's just endless, it's like chicken with the head cut off kind of deal. That ain't gonna get it done, dude. It can't be like that. There has to be legitimate systematic flow to what's going on. That's the only way that stuff works.
That's it. And that's the only reason why I say that. And Brett, we got you in here now, man. You can jump in here just a second right after I say this. That's the only reason, guys, why I say that all the time. That's the only reason. Because y'all know me. Y'all know I keep it real. I really don't care. I don't care how people feel about Madden. Like, I don't know why people continue to, when they don't like something, I hate Madden. I don't care. I could care less how you feel about the game. That ain't what I'm here for. At all. Hate it or love it. I'm just saying, if we're going to be the community that's trying to evoke change, I just want us to beat by, a slightly different drum. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's kind of move in unison for the most part. And if we can do that, maybe we could be a little more effective. We sound a little more intelligent. That's all I'm saying, man. They're humans. Okay, see, here we go. We got Brett on the line here. And Brett,
what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Haven't heard from you in a while, man. I'm glad you was able to join us tonight.
Yes, sir.
But I'm going to ask you to put your development hat on.
That's why I had to call.
You sitting at your desk, and SimFBallCritic. I mean, I hate doing that third person thing. So I'm laying into you. I mean, oh man, the dev, he sucks. Whoever that guy is, You know good and I ain't gonna curse, but you pretty much know, man. It ain't my fault. How you feeling about me as somebody that's trying to give you feedback, but I'm saying how trash you are at your job?
Oh, you insulted by it. First of all, you so insulted and frustrated by it because, first of all, there's no such thing as a minimum thinking developer. You get hired off of your high motivated ideas. So for somebody to sit there and criticize you that way is insulting. It's completely insulting. So and that's what people got to understand. It is not their idea to make a minimum game. That's not no developer. And if there is a developer out there, he or she's not a good developer. Period. So everybody needs to get off that bandwagon and keep blaming them all the time when that's not the case. They're handcuffed completely from day one. They are handcuffed, and it's funny because I think I told you guys this before. In 2000, me and a coworker of mine had over 75 different ideas that we emailed to each other, and we kept it. And from 2000 to 2007, 50% of those ideas was in the game, and then all of a sudden it just stopped.
Oh,
And that's basically what the developer goes through. And it was crazy because every year it's like, oh, they finally added this, oh, they finally added that. And it's like a lot of times they have ideas that they want to have, but they hold it back for a little bit. You know, they just gradually go out there and bring it out there. But now it's so much about what the bigwigs want. You know, they turn a deaf ear to it.
it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to play the beta at all?
Man, let me tell you guys something. And you might not want to believe me. Do you know I'm still playing the beta right now?
What? Well, we need to talk offline.
Yeah.
You know, I can just tell you what I did. I was in the middle of a game on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Father's Day, and I just put it. I shut my PS4 off on standby, and it kept it going. So I'm in the third quarter right now, playing my game. I know once the game is over, it's over. But what I heard you guys earlier today, and I couldn't agree with you more. It's the little things they need to fine tune. As far as the pass rush, they don't need to change it. My only concern is this: whatever they do, make sure you have a counter.
Yeah.
Don't just that's been my biggest problem with them all the time, is that they always bring something out and they have a minimum counter or none at all. Just make sure you have a counter, because what I've been doing, I'm playing against Aaron Donald right now. So what I do is I identify the mic with him, and they hold the line pretty well. Now, granted, I'm playing with Dallas, and their line is one of the best. But what else happens is, if I identify the mic with him, and they bring a blitz on the outside, that blitz on the outside can get in quicker. So it's a cat and mouse game, you know. So which is good. That's football, you know. That's just what it is. And I still got 2 to 3 seconds to throw the ball. And that's that. I'm not sitting in the pocket all day like I used to, and I'm able to do what I need to do. So if they just fix that, make me keep that, and the man coverage is good, but it still has that phantom. I just turn my head at the right time and pick the ball off type of animation. I need to fix that aspect. And the zones, of course, you know, every year the game comes out with bad zones. But the gameplay is great. But again, franchise mode is just, you know, what can I say? I really have a feeling that they're waiting for the next generation, but you can't keep lingering on and putting in partial product and not put out the full product that we asked for.
You know the issue I got with that too, man? If that's the case, like, I got to get on them, because not only, you know, you're going to get on them for waiting, but we've been saying that now for like the last one or two generations, and we didn't see no jump in each generation.
No.
And other games are doing it. Like, to me, if that was really it, nah, man. Y'all miss me with that. Because look at these other games around you. Stop. Come on, man.
Exactly. Look what 2K did right out the gate on the PS4. Right out the gate, the very first one, I was like, oh my God, and it hasn't stopped ever since. To be honest with you, they haven't done nothing from leaps and bounds since from PS1 to PS2. That was the last time they really did something from franchise mode. From PS2 to PS3 and PS3 to PS4, it's been minimum at best.
It's
crazy.
It's
disappointing. It is.
And that's the proof in the pudding right there, guys. If y'all never believe anything that we say, the proof is, in PS2 days, Madden's franchise was beyond deep.
Oh, yeah.
They had Head Coach 09, which was all about your franchise and, you know what I mean, like running your team, etc., etc. Outside of that, Madden 06 hits on the 360. We all was like, okay, what happened? Years later, it kind of came out that, they tried to rebuild the engine. So what's happening at this point is why Smitty and I keep telling y'all, priority. They haven't prioritized going back and rebuilding and re-implementing things they once had that people love. And that's just it.
Yeah.
That's the proof right there, because, people, Brett, people always try to say, they just don't know what to do and blah, blah, blah. They'll never get it right. But they had it. Let's not forget the fact that they had this.
Had it. They set the standard.
Exactly.
They set the standard for all games. That's not just for football, for all games, for that aspect of franchise. And they just lost it. And it's just it's frustrating because other games are doing the same thing that they're doing, but their franchise is still deep. So there's no excuse no more. It is no excuse. But, we catering to the big wigs. It's all that matters is the big wigs. That's it. And I don't want to sound like I'm just criticizing EA, and just bashing them. I'm just painting out the real picture on what it is. That's where we're at right now.
Well, supposedly, I will give you guys a little bit of news. I'm not going to name names, guys. Don't ask me to do that. But remember when I told you guys that I was waiting to see if some information I had was remotely true? I said this a couple months ago, maybe. Well, it appears that I have confirmed a good portion of it is true. So let me rehash what I said a while back for you guys who might remember. I was told that there are executives that was at Tiburon. And by the way, here's a sidebar. Y'all know I don't do anything for no reason. Most of y'all know that. It's a reason why I keep going at Tiburon. Just pay attention. That's all I'm going to say. Sidebar. Just pay attention. It's a reason why I'm doing that. I'm not doing it out of thin, clear, just out the blue sky. It is strategic. Anyway, I was told that there were executives in that building that the whole real football mantra and this is important, that's important, etc., they didn't really care too much about that. It was what it was. We'll get to it, and we whatever. We know, but we can't sell that. We can't sell fixes. We can't. And Rex told y'all as much. Remember he said that?
Yeah.
So I was told that a couple of these guys were no longer there at Tiburon. Some of these guys got reassigned and they got, transitioned to different areas of the company. I said, really? Word? So at the time, I thought maybe I would go down to EA this year. I didn't get the opportunity to go. Hint, opportunity. Nor did Smitty. And it is, whatever. And we don't know. Our shop didn't either. And yeah, whatever. I ain't bitter. I've been going for years. I've been going for years. I don't need to be there, per se. Just to give y'all that quick sidebar. I don't need to be there. I got my relationship. But it is what it is. Give other people a chance. Whatever. However, since I didn't go there, I was unable to see for myself if what I heard was true. So I did get some confirmation the other day. One of these guys, one of the main guys, is no longer at Tiburon. In fact, he's actually in another country from what I hear.
Wow.
And I said, wow. Smitty already gonna know what I'm talking about when I say this. And then, me and Smitty will talk offline. Some things you got to keep quiet, guys. Respect that. One of these guys, I actually had a conversation with myself at EA Play. Smitty might knows who that is. And it might not be the first thought, Smitty. It's probably your second thought. So let me do a subliminal real quick to Smitty. It's not who once left the Madden team and came back. Not that guy. Another one. So now you might know who I'm talking about. Okay. I say all that to say this because along with that news, I was told you're going to see a different change. You're going to see a different focus. You're going to see, real football and progressing this game forward and, doing some things, getting back to our core and franchises, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, okay. So we fast forward to Madden 20, seeing it for the first time. I started playing it and I said, whoa, wait a minute. This ain't the game I've been playing. Look how these players are moving. Whoa, minimal warping. Whoa, look at the passing. Whoa, no lurking linebackers. What? The game feels totally different, folks, in my opinion. Some people might not say it does, but listen, everybody has opinions. The game does not feel like what I'm playing right now in our final season of Madden 19. It doesn't feel like this game, even though I'm actually up 31-14. I don't know how. But it doesn't feel like this game, ladies and gentlemen. And I've been assured that they're going to, well, I've been told that they're going to continue on that path. So, hey, let's look at it like this as we come to a close, pretty much. My boy Dez might have been right. This might be a changing of the guard. This could be Madden like we haven't seen Madden in umpteen years. It just might. It might be. It might be a change. It might be a difference. Maybe this is the turning point. Possible, yes. But like always, we got to wait and see. I'm not going to be pessimistic. I'm not going to be overly optimistic. I just got to wait and see. Because honestly, and I will say this, and then I definitely want to hear Brett and Smitty's point. Then we probably can get out of here after that. I will say this. After seeing on the surface what Madden 20 is in the beta, can't believe I'm saying this. I'm a little encouraged, folks. A little encouraged. Just a little. Because gameplay to me at the core has changed. Y'all have no idea how big those abilities are. We've been asking for this for years. Matter of fact, I got a separate video coming out on that tomorrow, so I'm not going to bore y'all with that. But believe me, that's huge. We've been asking for that. Never thought we'd see the day where Mutt and Franchise are kind of sharing resources. We've been asking for that. So that's all I'm going to say, man. Just pay attention to what's happening. Let's see if the information that I was told months ago actually does come into fruition the rest of this cycle, because we'll see what happens with patches and such. And let's see what they do beyond Madden 20. So that's all I got right there, man. Smitty, Brett, man, what are y'all thoughts on that little piece of info there?
Yeah, go ahead, Smitty.
I mean, all I can really say is they gotta wait and see. But I mean, that is interesting. You know what I'm saying? That is interesting. And I mean, hey, look. As far as, you know, I know we talk about beta and everything else. You know, we talk about the betas and the quality of the betas and how that goes or whatever versus how the game is actually going to come out and actually play, etc. But there's no denying in terms of this game at this point, though. Like, it is solid. There's some solid stuff going on in this game. Now, I can't come up here and just start talking official like, yo, this game is it's lit, it's all that in a bag of chips, blah 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 blah. I can't go that far, and I won't go that far. But I don't have that pessimistic feeling of, man, here we go for another year. Now, if these dudes come out and straight, I mean, the game just gets tampered with in some way, somehow, and things just go straight down the toilet, man, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take this game and roll it back from where it was at in this beta in the final game, it's just rolled, steamrolled all the way back.
Boy.
Like, you cannot, and I mean this, you cannot have a repeat performance of what happened with Madden 19. That is not going to fly. So, whatever it is that you got going on with this game, whatever it is, like what Sim said earlier, this is the stuff that you promoted You promoted the pass rush being like this. You promoted the mechanics being the way they are. Like, you promoted this. So if this is what you're promoting, you got to stand tall behind it. You know what I'm saying? You got to stand tall and confident behind all this stuff and let it ride. You got to let this game ride, man. It can't be anything less than that. So
Yep.
That's where I'm at with it. But EA gotta start turning corners. And look, it's not like they just can't make a game pop or they can't make a good game. That's bullcrap. They can, but they have to quit. They have to quit playing. They can't be out here playing games with it, man. It's gotta be, like, they have to come through and deliver it. Seriously. No more jokes. No more. No more. No more playing it down for the people. Like what I say at times. You have to start treating this game with a Dark Souls-esque kind of appeal to it. Like, if dudes are out here having problems and issues playing the game, then they just gonna have them problems and issues. They gonna have them problems and issues. And they're just gonna have to develop and get better at the game, or else just get left behind. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that kind of stuff. You don't see them playing that cupcake stuff with Dark Souls. You didn't see when did you see Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Neo or whatever? When did you see those games get nerfed?
Right.
What title update did they get to nerf those games because people dying left and right?
The handicap.
See what I'm saying? So that's what we can't have happening going forward in this game, man. Like, if they seriously want this game to be legit, you can't cater to everybody just to try and please everybody. The best way to please some people is by making them go through. That has to happen, dude. So that's where I'm at, man.
Absolutely.
Sadly,
Brett, what you got before we get out of here, man?
I just basically agree with everything you guys said, but one thing I would say, for me, I still got to keep my guard up. It's sad for me to say that, but I got to keep my guard up because it's like we've been in this situation so many times, especially last year. And I go to EA Play and the game plays superb. And when we get the final product, it was nothing like it was. So, I want to make sure that that everything is staying on point, and that we're gonna hopefully they're going in the right direction after what you just said too. If that's where they're going, then we got a good potential. But every time I doubt them, they always come through. That's one thing I will say.
Well, doubt them.
Always come through.
Right? Yeah.
Doubt them the rest of this night. Say they can't do nothing. They no good nobody.
Yeah. Exactly. And one last thing, I want to say this too. I meant to say this earlier. When the beta came out and everybody was coming up with ideas, people got to realize. I'm not saying the ideas are not good, but ideas like game-changing ideas, it's too late for that.
Yeah.
You gotta come with ideas of tuning the game. But I will say this past February and April was the most I've seen people so disgruntled about the game, but that was still too late. If we want to have that type of disgruntledness, we need to start this in September, October. Be loud then. Because the game gets started like in November, December, and that's when the ideas can be heard. But if we do this in February, March, April, it's too late. So for everybody that's listening, you have those type of options. Make sure that let's start this early. Start this in September. Start this in October, and be loud with it. And hopefully we can get heard and get changed.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Bully said, doubt them and they will come through. That's a new one. Yeah, man. It's just, at this point, man, we got to try everything we can try, man. I mean, I just hope what I shared with you guys tonight is the truth, man. About it seems like it. It seems like it because, again, the information I got, I was told you would see it, you will notice it in 20, in terms of just gameplay approach. And I was like, all right, like I'm listening, but I'm not listening. I mean, no, I don't want to say that because if the people I talk to were to hear me say that, no, I'm not saying I was doubting y'all. I'm just saying it's like, man, okay, we shall see type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like it, man. I mean, it looks like it might be something.
Yeah.
So, all right. Prove me wrong. I have no problem with that. But Brett, man, we definitely appreciate you coming through like always, man. You always welcome. If you want to come on before the show, before the game launches, feel free to do that.
Definitely will, man. Definitely will.
But we will definitely have you, man, back on at the point in which everybody has played the game, and we'll see what's up.
Okay.
So, all right, man. Have a great night, brother.
You too, man. I'm heading to this Eric B. Rakim concert.
Oh, man. Yeah.
All right.
Old school.
Go represent, baby.
Yes, sir.
Throw one in the air for me when they do. I ain't no joke.
All right. I sure will.
I need that.
All right.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay, now. All right.
All right, man.
Some of y'all young chumps don't know nothing about that. I just me and Smitty barely caught that. We was young punks when that was out, but yeah. I got an older brother, so I know what time it is. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all we got, man, for tonight. And look at this, we still ended up going till about 10 o'clock, and I never really mind that. It's just that, I try to be done by then, and if it's not much to talk about, I don't want to just be filling air, but it worked out tonight. We had a lot to talk about. Anything else, Smitty, you want to hit on, man, while we got a little bit of time here?
No, I hit on the like I said, the only other thing really was the whole NBA, the NBA Live stuff, and I mean, I spoke on that. I know that my people, I don't know this guy who we drafted. Who the heck? Who is this guy we picked? I'm just looking through the draft here, and we drafted some cat from France. Oh man, okay. Is this guy? Oh wow. Okay, well, I mean, he's a small forward at 6'9". Sorry, my dog up here. Well, I'm about to whoop his tail. It's all right. It's he's 6'9", 230 pounds, small forward. I don't know who. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know. See, that's the one thing about looking at an international guy. I can't necessarily say like, well, I don't know if he's going to be any good. I mean, I can't tell because it's not like I got something that I can, track in regards of what he's done or whatever. Like, I have no track record.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like basically like how Porzingis was when he came, when he went to New York and everything. He got drafted by those guys. Like, you didn't know, you had no means of truly looking into the man in terms of who he is, what he's about, what he's truly going to bring to the table potentially. You had nothing really to track. So have to wait and see, what he possibly can do.
Man, so I will say this, guys, as we wrap up, speaking of franchise, and even though, I am over and done with Madden 19, I'm in the victory formation here, man, and Kia knows this. Smitty knows this because both Smitty and Kia has been in this league. There's some guys in this league that are really good. They know how to play. And I'm pretty sure when the game is better, they're going to still know how to play. But there are some guys that benefit from the shortcomings of Madden. Like the deep safeties, just dumbing out, having all the time in the world, Just be waiting for that post route to come open. They'll even throw it in single coverage. Throw it in double coverage and all that, and you just get the random animations and blah, blah, blah. And I just look at how, and no disrespect to my opponent here, I'm not even going to say what team it is, but I can't wait to play some of these guys in Madden 20. It's going to be pretty easy, I feel like, with some of these guys. Because they're not going to have that time in the pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And I was shutting down a lot of these plays early. He ended up coming back, but I was up at one point by 3 touchdowns. I ran for 300 yards, which is crazy. I got Earl Campbell and Le'Veon Bell in my backfield, so they got off. But the thing is, man, is just, because, you guys might not know this, but when we get in like year 5 and 6, we get creative with the rosters. We start doing things like Hall of Famers and, creating guys just to kind of keep a little immersion in there. So he got I think he has Chad Johnson and somebody else at receiver, and John Ross is super fast. It's just the same old, y'all know the things that always work in Madden. And even when you try to get there, you don't have that much control over your user, but I'm telling you, they're not going to be able to play like this in 20. So I can't wait to see which guys actually adjust and they start game planning. Because he ended up at the end, the last 2 quarters, he's just chucking it, and I'm shutting it down in Madden 19. So I can't imagine how it's going to be in 20 when you just want to drop back like that and just sit in the pocket and wait 6 seconds to throw it. It ain't gonna happen, bro. Ain't gonna happen. So it's gonna be interesting to see how some people adjust and how they play, once 20 comes out. So I just thought I'd add that little ditty right there. But again, like I said, I'm not coming at him, and if he hears this, he knows that. I'm just saying, Kid has been in this league before, and there are players in this league that, yeah, okay, they're not that nice. They and y'all know it. Think about it. Think about the people y'all play against, whether it's in your league or just online in general. Some of these people they do not know what they're doing. They're just benefiting off of the shortcomings of the game, and it's just it's that simple. But that's all I got, man. We'll go ahead and get out of here. We appreciate you guys' participation. We appreciate the donations for you guys that did that. Of course, if you want to donate, man, you can always do so clicking the $sign in the left bottom corner of the chat. But like I said, going forward, I still got to, I got to keep remembering. I got to get Smitty squared away, man, for what months was that? April and May, I believe. But going forward, man, we'll offer some other opportunities, to where I'm going to say this here. Because I've been meaning to say this even with my Steelers stuff, and you might want to do this as well, Smitty, from when you stream. I think I'm gonna stop. I don't want to say stop accepting them, because of course if you donate, you donate. But I think I'm going to prefer PayPal or Cash App. Reason being is anybody who's on YouTube regularly and you have a partner channel and all of that, YouTube rakes your donations. They literally rape you. To quote Ice Cube, no Vaseline, bro. It's horrible. So yeah, I appreciate you guys who actually have hit me up through PayPal. Much love to you guys and or Cash App. And I think going forward, I know Smitty has a PayPal. We will start, giving you guys that information, and y'all could, if you want to donate to us, you could do it independently, what have you, and boom, it makes it easier for everybody. But we actually get your donation. PayPal charges like $1 and something. Like somebody gave me one time a $50 donation, and they only charged me $1.25. Versus if it was YouTube, I might have got like 30 of that. So. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's really bad. So, just a little nugget there, guys. No pressure. I'm just trying to let y'all know the real. But anyway, man, let's get out of here. I'm going to get myself ready for work tomorrow. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Be safe. Be great. And we'll catch you guys next week on the SimStandard Podcast. Peace.